I'm David Paul, KHOU Weather Center. It's cold. It's 38 in Tomball right now. Sugar Land's 38, Bush 41, Hobby's at 42. Now look, these are current temperatures. We're going to get a lot colder than this tonight. But to put this in perspective, our normal low temperature for this time of the year is 54. And the sun just went down an hour ago, and we're way below that normal low. And so these cold temperatures that we're getting here this second week in November are way out of whack with anything that is normal. This is way, way unusually cold, and it's not just us, it's the whole nation that's in the deep freeze. And we'll set records tonight, I'm pretty sure, and the whole country's going to set all kinds of cold weather records for the earliest freeze, earliest snow, and coldest day of the year so far. North wind is beginning to settle down, north of 10 at Bush or Continental, that's Houston. Still north of 22 in Galveston, but these winds will calm down tonight, and with light winds and this Arctic air that is now in place, we got a hard freeze. Well, it says hard freeze watch. It has been updated to a hard freeze warning for this area. So we're going to see from Montgomery County northward temps that drop to 24 or below for 2 hours or more. So what is a hard freeze? Well, the definition of a hard freeze in the Houston, Southeast Texas area is something that could damage crops or threaten livestock. These were warnings that were created back at the turn of the century to help farmers and industry protect themselves from when cold weather arrived here in Houston. Nowadays, we don't have so much of the agriculture going on, but it has more to do with people and pets and plants. But that's the technical reason for issuing the hard freeze warning for 24 or below. For the rest of the Houston area, Harris County and counties to the coast, it's a freeze warning. That just means, hey, hello, this will be the first freeze you've had this season. They issue a warning for the first freeze. Houston will probably have more freezes as we get into wintertime, but we won't get warnings for them. We get a warning for the first freeze of the season. How cold are we going to go? 22 in Conroe. This will be Wednesday morning. Navasota 24, Hempstead 24, Woodlands 25, Huntsville 23, Cold Spring 24. Again, low 50s is what's normal this time of the year. In Houston, if we do hit 27 at Bush, that is going to be the new record for the day. The old record is 29, which was set back on Wednesday morning, which would be tomorrow morning, at back in 1907. So this will be a 100-plus year record that I think we're going to smash overnight tonight for cold weather. Katy goes down to 26, Sugar Land 27, Pearland 27, Liberty and Anahuac both 29. Very unusual for November to get lows in the 20s in northern Chambers County, north side of the bay, but Anahuac, Mont Belvieu, Cove, upper 20s in the morning. It really is amazingly cold. Angle of 29. Everybody freezes except the immediate barrier island of Galveston. You'll be 37 because surf temperature down here is still in the 60s, and that's keeping you warmer. Can you see it? It's very subtle. There are high cirrus clouds streaming overhead. Those are ice crystals. You can see it better as we zoom out. It's coming from the Pacific, that southern branch of the jet's active. That is the only uncertainty in tonight's forecast. Any cloud cover will act like a blanket, and it traps heat, just like a blanket traps heat when you go to bed. It traps the heat underneath the covers. Well, this is like the covers. So if those clouds stay thicker than forecast, we could be a little bit warmer than we're forecasting. If we clear out completely, we could be cooler than forecasting. And you can see there's a little sliver of clear, and then it's cloudy and cloudy. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But one thing I do think this is going to do, and we'll go out and check this out this evening, we'll get some pictures for you at 10 o'clock, is that these high cirrus clouds, well, they're made out of ice crystals. And that's what can give that icy ring around the moon effect. And I'm hoping that happens, and we'll go out here this evening, and at 10 o'clock we'll take some pictures and show them to you. Why is it so cold? A couple of things have happened. And you can see it's 12 in Chicago, Louisville 22, Nashville 22. It's freezing in Tuscaloosa, Alabama right now. Why so cold? Unusual jet stream pattern. We talked about this at 10 o'clock. It's brought that cold air out of Siberia into Canada. And see how it's the coldest air is right here? That's because the jet stream shape is dipping across the eastern half of the country. When you get the jet stream, that dip, that trough in winter, that tells you where the cold air is going to be. And so that's where the cold air is, central and eastern half of the country. They've been above normal out west. So what's going to happen? Well, moving forward, this goes into Friday, still troughiness in the eastern half of the country. We stay with temps below normal. Going into early next week, Monday, look at the trough. No doubt we'll have cold air in here on the east half on Monday. But watch what happens later next week. So way out, so 8-9 days out, the 21st, we flip-flop. We get a ridge. It warms up across the eastern half of the country, and look where the trough redevelops out west. So it literally just flips that trough out to the west. That means snow for the Sierras, the Shasta-Siskiyous, the Rockies, and they could see some heavy snow and cold out here. It all depends on the shape and location of that jet stream, which is why at 10 o'clock we track it like no one else does. So tonight, 27, that would be a record if we get there, breaking the old record from 1907. 40s for highs. We ought to be in the low to mid 70s for highs. Very unusual. Look at Thursday. That's rainy and cold. Friday's chilly. And then we rebound. Highs in the 60s Saturday and Sunday. High 62, high 64. Gorgeous weekend. 5th weekend in a row of gorgeous weather. But those highs in the 60s are still 10 degrees below where we ought to be this time of the year. It is strangely cold across Houston and the eastern half of the USA. Everything updated on the TV side. KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock. We'll see you then.